Hi guys, Nancy here, and I'm back with another process video for you. And this is again looking through my Amy Tangerine stash. As I said in my last Amy Tan stash use up video, which is a bit of a mouthful, I found some more papers while I was doing my cleanup. These have kind of been put in other kits that I'd made and hadn't actually used them up, so I decided to pull them out of those kits and to bring them all together. I still have a few bits of paper left in the paper pads, but it is getting a little bit less now. So these are bits and pieces that come from a variety of collections. We've got the Sketchbook collection, we've got Ready Set Go, we've got some Plus One, and we also have her newest one, which I can't remember, Stitched. I've also got some stitch paper in there as well. So this is going to be one for my American album, and I'm going to be using this photo here. And I do have some offcuts and bits that I want to get used up as well, so I'm going to kind of make a little bit of a sort of photo map for these to go on. I'm going to be using this frame paper for my background, and I absolutely love this piece of paper. Which is why I was saving it, but I realised that I actually need to get it used up. The only thing I always struggled about this piece of paper is it includes cream and white on the same piece of paper, and so I always struggle with that slightly. But I decided to kind of use papers that had more of a sort of a white base as well, just to kind of make that pop a little bit, because I said that's kind of what troubled me the most, really, from that piece of paper. So this, as I said, is going to be done in my American album, and that album is a huge mix of styles, and I promise that I will do a flick through from it. I know I keep saying it to people, but when it's all done, you will be getting a flick through. It is so close to being done. It's just then the big kind of sort out, getting in order and all that. I'm so pleased that it's nearly done. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but I'm just so excited to go on my next trip. So you just saw me cut that down a little bit, and I pulled this piece of pink cardstock from my stash. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have lots and lots of plain cardstock that I brought when I first started scrapbooking, or I've got in kits and stuff. And I've always really struggled to use it because I don't normally use plain cardstock as my background. So I'm making a concerted effort to try and use it up, and this bright pink cardstock is absolutely fabulous, and it's just going to pull the pink from some of the other elements and stuff that I'm going to be using on here. And I am getting into a few bit of offcuts and stuff now, and I'm just trying to use up as much as I possibly can. So I'm just going to be doing a design which is one that I use quite a lot, and that is this kind of like bottom corner sort of L-shaped design. And I really love how this is just an easy sort of go-to design that I use. It's great for using a single photo on pages, which I have nothing against doing. I enjoy using single photos, 4 photos, 32 tiny photos, but sometimes, you know, these photos are kind of just telling one story, or one part of a bigger story, and so I'm quite happy to kind of scrap single photos. I know some people aren't a fan of the single photo layouts, but I really like them mixed in with everything else. So I've just inked all the edges up with the black ink, and again that's just going to help to make everything stand out a little bit against that background, because it is a busy background. And excuse me guys, and I decided that I do want to add just a little bit from the background, and kind of a little bit of pop. So I'm using one of my favourite stencils, which is this polka dot one, and as I said, I really love this stencil. It's kind of one of my most used ones, and it's kind of the same as kind of using almost like a punchinella, you know, sequin waste, but I just really like the small size of this. And so I've just used my black ink, and then I'm also finding up some of my other inks here, and this is the Hero Arts one, and I believe this is in Tide Pool. I might have made that up. It's basically my kind of go-to sort of teal ink, and I'm just using this sort of chevron. It is kind of a chevron, I suppose, one, and again this is another one of my sort of favourite ones, and I'm just kind of building up around where I know that I'm going to put that photo cluster. and majority of this is going to get covered up, as it normally does. But I like to put it there because it just helps do a little bit of grounding. So I've also included a white doily on here. I'm kind of falling back in love with doilies. I kind of like neglected them for a while. But there is doilies and stuff in this album, so it's kind of made me re-look at using doilies. But yeah, I really just kind of... I like how they kind of add a tiny little bit of movement to layout in the fact that, you know, they're not like a solid circle. I'm just going to bring out my white mist here, and again, just to kind of bring in that white and make the background pop a little bit, and then just adding some black on there as well. And I have used this paper already in the fact that I cut it up a long time ago and used it on a different layout. So if you've been watching kind of my videos and stuff recently, and some that I've got coming up, I'm really loving taking like these 12 by 12 sheets of paper and cutting them up to make my own embellishments and stuff. And I did consider doing it with this piece of paper, but I thought no, it's going to make a really fun sort of background, so I will go with that. And I'm not quite sure, I may do the journaling in some of those squares, rectangles, frames, or I may not. I'm not sure. So I've pulled out this globe one. Again, this is an American layout, so it's going to my American album, so there is lots of globes and cameras and stuff in there, so I decided I was going to add that globe on, and I am trying to use up the sticker sheet. This is from the +1 collection, and so I'm just looking at where I can get as many of these elements on a page. And the picture is actually one of my boyfriends, and it's kind of like the origin of, well, not the origin, I mean the nickname I have for him is Mr. Peanut. It's just been one of those, yeah, it's just been one of those ones that kind of like developed out. I don't know what it's out of, but anyway, I call him Mr. Peanut, and this is a picture of him against like an advertising wall that was in, I think it was in Warner Brothers Studios, and it kind of had all different adverts, and one of them is a picture of Mr. Peanut, who's like a branding slogan in the US, and so my boyfriend decided to copy Mr. Peanut's little stance there on the poster. He doesn't have the cane and the top hat, but it was funny, so I snapped this photo, and it's kind of a photo that we kind of talk about quite a bit, so I decided that this one really needed to go on the album because this is the first time that I got a shot of Mr. Peanut with Mr. Peanut. So that's really it for the story, and again, it's just a fun little story that's us, and you know, that's what I kind of like documenting, these little stories and little kind of, yeah, just kind of little us kind of little stories and things that have gone on. I did cut out those blue flowers from one of the other pieces of Amy Tangerine paper, and I know that it's not a particularly floral layout, but I kind of quite like these graphic flowers. And they worked in well with the kind of other colours that I'd pulled in, like that paper with all the hearts on, which is kind of the back layer, has all the kind of the colours that are in the background, the pink, the oranges, the blues. And so I really like how they all came out. Again, just use a little sticker there that says "So Much Fun" up there on the top with one of the frames as well. And I'm going to be using actually the alphabet tile stickers that are on here, and actually I was surprised that I had quite a few of these that still had all of like the letters and stuff I needed. I must have only used them a few times, so I pulled them out, and I'm going to use that for part of my title. And as I said, this is actually a really simple layout. It was actually really quick. It took me just over half an hour. So I mean, again, I did have to cut out the flowers and stuff from that other sheet of paper, but the embellishments are actually pretty simple on here. It's mainly those paper layers. So I'm just laying out my title here to just check that I've got everything I need, and I also want to use some other Amy Tangerine stickers that I've got here, and these ones are the kind of ones that they're like a vellum-y, kind of like transparent, and these were given to me by Emma. And I really love them, and I kind of love that I've kind of got these to sort of add into my stash. So I'm just looking here to see if I've got all of the letters that I need. And so I'm now just going to work out where I'm going to put my title, and it is very rare for me to actually bring out a ruler, but I did bring my ruler out to put my title down. Because all the frames in the background are a little bit wonky and I haven't made my layers straight, I wanted to make sure that that title actually was kind of even, so it didn't kind of look too strange with that background. Actually, it's still not 100% straight, but yeah, I'm glad I kind of made an effort at least. So I'm just going to be using my glue to stick down these tile stickers because they are not so sticky. So I'm just using my wet glue on the end of my pokey tool just to help make sure they stick down well. And as I said, I don't know why I haven't used these more. They're a nice teal colour. And again, it picks up the teal which is in that sticker, and the teal that is in the small hearts in the background. And that's a great thing I'm finding, like I said before, that lots of designers' collections actually mix really well. Sorry, my video recording went off then. I'm still having a few technical issues. It's still not like adding photos and stuff at the end of videos, and I'm losing bits of voiceover. It's a little bit of a nightmare. I think my laptop is just getting a little bit old and having a hissy fit, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm not going to not worry about that till I come back from my holiday. So, as I was saying, I really just love that font, and it works really well. And even though those letter stickers are sort of transparent, I put them over quite a neutral sort of part of the background where that doily is, so it's still quite legible. And so I've just put this one, which is The Adventures of Mr. Peanut Begins, and I really love how this has all come together. So I want to thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I will speak to you all again soon.